Welcome back to week 6 here at the Carlisle Med Gym. We're doing our series on smart core training. In the first 5 weeks, we talked about a few different categories of core exercises, and we're beginning to branch out to some different concepts. Last week, we talked about the dead bug, and one of the big concepts within the dead bug exercise is that of neutral spine positioning. And so once again with that, we want to make sure that when we build into a core exercise, we're building into it with neutral spine position, not too far extended, not too far flex, but somewhere right in the middle where we can maintain the least amount of pressure on the spine while you're doing the exercise. So today we want to build on that exercise with something that you may not immediately think of as a core exercise, but one of the biggest problems with spine health that we tend to see is people not knowing how to pick something up off the ground without compromising their back. So today we're going to talk about something called the Dowel Rod Hip Hinge. And this is a great exercise to work on your posture, your positioning when you go to pick something off the floor. So to demonstrate, typically what we see when someone goes to pick something off the floor is one of two things. They'll either keep pretty straight with their legs and compromise their spine by rounding the back, and that puts a lot of pressure, especially on the discs and the lumbar spine. The other thing we'd see is people tend to stay straight up and down and they bend their knees a lot, which puts a lot more pressure on the knees, leading to early arthritis in the knees possibly. So we want to kind of stick in the middle of those two extremes where we're actually using the hips and not the spine. So to do that, we're going to take this dowel rod on the back, and this just gives you a little bit of feedback so you have more awareness of where your spine is and that you're maintaining this posture. So the dowel rod's going to go on the head, upper back, tailbone, and those 3 points are key. You got to maintain those the entire time. You can take this, and all we're going to do from here is do a bend at the hip. So your chest comes forward, your tailbone goes back into the dowel rod as far as you can go, as far as your hamstrings will let you, while not losing those 3 points of contact. So as soon as you go here and you lose that tailbone, you know you've just gone through lumbar flexion, you've lost that neutral spine. So as we go through this, back as far as we can get it, pull the hips forward to come back up, and that begins to ingrain this neutral spine into a more functional movement where we go to lift something off the ground, and we can get there while keeping a neutral spine, and that's the least amount of stress on your spine as you're lifting. So building some of these core concepts of core training into now not only just strengthening the abdominals, but into a functional movement in everyday life.